morning, Mama. What is it?
I have to go away for a while. I was told to take a man to a hotel. They said he was an enemy of the state.
Take off your dress.
And in exchange, my mother would get the doctor she needed.
Hey, dude. This is Real Talk, a video review segment by Lantern TV. I'm Wyatt Crozier. Zach, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Zach Varda. I'm a casual moviegoer, a student at Ohio State. Wyatt has roped me into seeing more movies, and it backfired.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk today about Red Sparrow. Red Sparrow was directed by Francis Lawrence, and it stars Jennifer Lawrence and Joel Edgerton. It's based on a book of the same name that I have not read, and I would say it's about this Russian spy. Well, first of all, she was a dancer turned Russian intelligence officer agent, and she uses the art of seduction to persuade people into doing things. Yeah. And she meets this USA intelligence officer who's Joel Edgerton, and there's a lot of back and forth there. And I guess to start off with something I sort of enjoyed, I liked Jennifer Lawrence in the movie. I thought Jennifer Lawrence was pretty good.
She did a fine acting job. I mean, you can only do so much when the writing's just so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, she didn't. She showed fine, and she didn't do her. She did,
And especially with Joel Edgerton, I thought those two had some good chemistry, even though, like you said, the script isn't always with them. Joel Edgerton himself does a pretty good job at the character he's given to do, but there's just nothing worth doing in this movie.
Yeah, there's no emotion. Like you said, they do fine with the characters they're given, but you could have given the best performance of your life, and you wouldn't have been able to make me care about the characters.
Yeah, the first thing to say about this movie is that it's 140 minutes about, and it just does not deserve this runtime at all. It is just a slugfest from start to finish, and I don't know, the pacing in this movie is rough.
I'm a huge proponent of never using your phone or anything in a movie theater. About an hour and 20 minutes in, I had to get my phone out to see how much time was left, and I really wanted to just leave when I saw there was another hour. The fact that this went more than 90 minutes is absurd.
Yeah, there's just, right from the get-go, it has this thing where it seems like it's doing something interesting, but it never gets you to grab onto what the plot is doing. There's moments and there's some crazy scenes, but I just never cared about any of the characters involved.
No, there was never a point, and it tries to get by on sex and violence is what it comes down to. It tries to show you nudity and have really violent scenes, but violence doesn't really work if you don't care about the characters. Legitimately, if they had killed off one of the main characters at any point, or something I didn't see coming, you would have had to search the entire movie theater for a care for me to give, because there was just absolutely no attachment.
And there are these side plots with Jennifer Lawrence and her mother and her uncle, and they're these things that oh, look at how much these things are interesting, and I just couldn't care less about any of them. They don't do a good job at setting up anything at all. The mother, that could have been an interesting area to go into, and then just leave it.
It could have been a good humanizing aspect, and it was so, I don't really think we explored it at all. We don't, she's sick, you find that out in the first scene. You would legitimately never find out what she's sick with. You can make some guesses based on the treatment she's getting. You never find out. They never really have any dialogue. They don't establish Jennifer Lawrence's relationship with their mother other than, oh, she takes care of her.
Mm-hmm. If I would have told you a Russian communist school that they go to coming into this movie, it would be exactly what it is in this. They don't change anything. Oh, they show a little bit of torture. Oh, they show a little bit of nudity. But there's nothing that makes you go over the edge or makes you interested at all at what's going on.
I thought we were transported back to 1980s, and this was Red Dawn, because it felt like a propaganda film. Oh, look how bad the evil Russians are. Everything's run by the state over there. Communism's bad. Americans are good. Hurrah, USA. That was the main takeaway, I believe.
And it doesn't do anything with that. It doesn't make you believe that these Russians are so bad in the American. It does feel like it's being propaganda-y, and it just doesn't drive it home well enough for me to care at all.
Like I said, Red Dawn, that's like a pure propaganda film that people are like, oh, it's a really bad film, but like I still come away when I watch Red Dawn and go like, yeah, that's awesome, boo Russians, go America, but I come away from this like, why did I just spend 2 hours and 20 minutes in a movie theater?
And there was a movie last year, Atomic Blonde, that kind of does some similar things with like being a spy, a female spy, using seduction as a craft. And I didn't even like that movie that much, but it does way more with that sort of premise. And a lot of the reason is there's not really like an action scene to be found in this movie, and that could have been cool if they used like seduction instead of like fists, but they just don't. Like, I don't buy that she is as good as they're saying she is either.
No, and it's like she doesn't even get trained for that long. Like she's a lifelong ballerina, like the best in Russia. She works at the Bolshoi Theater. And then after 3 months of spy training, she outsmarts the entire CIA and the SVR being the Russian equivalent of the CIA. And it's like, okay, so ballerina trains for 3 months, but because her uncle's part of a spy agency, she has this innate talent where she's now the smartest spy in the world. And for seduction being the key point of what her skills are supposed to be, she doesn't really do a lot of seduction because it's one of her character things. She doesn't like that aspect of it. So she's not a good traditional spy. She can't seduce. She's not a good fighter. There's one good action scene.
There's one, yeah, I'll give you one.
It doesn't deliver because I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, that's where it just comes down to it for me. For a movie that's 139 minutes long, Red Sparrow doesn't make me care about anything it does. It's just monotonous and tedious and boring.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly. It never managed to make me care about anything or any of the characters, or it must have been a good book,
Yeah.
Because bad books don't get turned into movies. And after I saw this, it didn't make me want to read the book or anything. It just made me think wow, why did Jennifer Lawrence sign on to do this? She is so above this.
Yeah, you can tell she's talented and she's trying her best. Same with Joel Edgerton, who I know has been super good in a ton of movies before, but they do their best. They give decent performances, but the script and the pacing just do not help them whatsoever.
Yeah, nobody helped them out. They gave it their all, and they were just not helped out by anybody.
All right, I'll start off the reviews. I'll say once again, I did like Jennifer Lawrence. I did like Joel Edgerton. I thought it was well shot. I thought there was some cool looking shots, and there is one good action scene. I can appreciate it going a little darker, but it's just so boring. It's just so boring, and it just is so unnecessarily long, and I don't care about anything the plot is. I would say for a review on a college budget, I'd just say just don't see it. It's not worth even watching it on Netflix. It's just too much of your time. Study, do better in school. It's just not worth it.
You said it was well shot, but what I immediately thought was, if I frame a dog turd well, that doesn't mean you want to go watch it for 2 hours and 20 minutes. If I was going to give it on a college budget review, do your homework, go back and do homework you've already done, retake midterms from years ago. That would be more fun than seeing this movie.
That's a wrap on Real Talk this week. Zach, thank you for joining me. Sorry again.
Yeah.
Happy hockey winging across America. Thanks for watching.